Shalom. First, giving all praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Today's class, for Alms do deliver from death. Today's class, we're going to focus on the whole concept of alms. I feel through the spirit of the Most High and His Son, as a lot of time as we wake up to the biblical truth, this is a concept that a lot of time when we go from waking up from Christianity to the biblical truth, we happy about the concept that we've been deceived about tithing. We realize tithing is not money, is your crops and so forth. So we overwhelmed and we at the same time rejoicing on the simple fact that we've been deceived and Pastor Pochop been robbing us all these years. But at the same time, we do forget the elements and the concept of alms, which is not talking about, not really spoken about in the Christianity world. But we understand as being a part of the awakening, we're going to teach the Bible as it's written. We want to bring some more understanding to alms and how important alms are to our nation. So, start off the class, we're going to go ahead and go into the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 11. Read that, we get there up.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God.
So we understand as we come into this truth, we have to put on the whole armor of the Most High God. That means every word that He presents to us, these laws, statutes, and commandments that was only given to the nation of Israel, we got to put on the whole armor of the Most High God, man. Read on.
That ye may be able to stand.
That ye may be able to what?
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Of the who?
Of the devil.
So understand, we're going to go into this class dealing with arms, dealing with the concept of how arms is very important to our nation. So, and I just want to give you a brief breakdown of arms. When you look at it, arms is pretty much defined as a charitable donation. So when you're dealing with a charitable donation, let's go into the definition of what is charitable. That goes from the word charity. When you're dealing with charity, you're dealing with aid, which means assistance of some form of fashion, welfare, relief, also funding, or you could even go into what they call financial assistance. So when you're dealing with charity, you're dealing with some form of aid. So I'm going to show you something. As we build our nation back up, we must make sure we implement and understand the concept of alms, or of giving alms. So in the process of giving alms, let's go ahead and go into the book of Proverbs right quick, God. Chapter 14, and we'll start at verse 32. Go ahead, huh?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 32. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness.
So understand, the wicked is driven away in his wickedness. A lot of time dealing with our nation has pretty much adopted the characteristics of the other nation, has adopted the characteristics of that wicked nation, which we know is Edom. Read on.
But the righteous.
But the what?
But the righteous.
The one that's going to hold fast to the Most High God's word. The 12 tribes is going to repent and come back to doing His will. Read.
Had hope.
Has what?
Had hope.
Read on.
In his death.
So understand, man, when Paul said he died daily, man, we got to die of the pretty much philosophies of this world. We got to die of the lust of the flesh. Read on.
Wisdom rested in the heart of him that had understanding.
So when you dealing in the righteous matter, you understand wisdom rested in the mind of the one that have understanding of the precepts, man. Understanding of putting on the whole armor. Read on.
But that which is in the midst of food is made known.
When you dealing with a person that's in sin, you're dealing with the other nation that is wicked, is going to be made known. Read on.
Righteousness exalted a nation.
Read that again.
Righteousness exalted a nation.
So as we build our nation, we have to understand we got to build our nation on righteousness. This is the only thing that's going to get us back into rulership. This is the only way we're going to get out of captivity. We got to implement righteousness in our nation, man. Read on.
But sin.
But what?
But sin.
Read on.
Is a reproach to any people.
So in the process of while we at a lower state, we know we fell into sin, Israel. So if we put on the whole armor, we're going to make sure we put on the armor, which is these laws, statutes, commandments, man, as we try to get back to our rightful place of rulership, man, as we try to get out this captivity. In the process of getting out this captivity, this is what got to happen, man. Paul spoke about it. Give me that in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10 right quick. Because to get out this condition, Israel, we got to get out this condition as a nation. We know everybody's not going to repent. We know 2/3 of our people is going to get put to death. But we fighting for that 1/3 that's going to come back to the Most High God. And when they come back, this is the mindset of what needs to happen. Read that right quick out.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing.
How is that possible? We got to come back to the oracles of the Most High God and speak the same thing, man. We cannot go on our own vain thoughts. We cannot go on the rudiments of the world. We got to come with thus say the Lord, man. We got to speak life to our nation, man. Read on.
And that there be no division.
No what?
No division.
This is a big concept that's killing us as a nation. We have so much division because we would not put our trust in the Most High God. We put our trust in everything but the all power, man. Read on.
Among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together. In the same mind.
In the what?
In the same mind.
Read on.
And in the same judgment.
In the same mind and understanding of what we should be doing. Who we are as a nation, man. We are a holy nation. We're supposed to be set apart. But our people don't have that understanding. And they choose to be joined with their enemies, man. I'm going to show you, man. Give me that in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. Like I always like to do, I'm going to build up the understanding so we can dive into the topic. But I want you to have an understanding of what's going on, Israel. Read that right quick, guys.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them.
Do what?
Come out from among them.
Read on.
And be ye separate.
And be ye what?
Be ye separate.
See, the process of separating from our enemy, the process of separating from sin is what's going to bring that deliverance to Israel, man. What's going to bring that deliverance to the 1/3 that's coming back to the law, statute, commandments. But our people don't want to do that, man. And I'm going to show you, because remember, Alms is pretty much a charitable donation. And we're going to go deep into this concept. But we must first understand, we have to come from amongst the sinners. We have to come from amongst the other nation. Read on.
And be ye separate, saith the Lord. And touch not the unclean thing.
And do what?
And touch not the unclean thing.
Read on.
And I will receive you.
And the Most High God will receive us, man. This is what we have to continue to, beat our nation across the face with the oracles of the Most High God, man. A lot of times, just it's nothing new up under the sun. Just how we didn't want to leave Egypt, we have the same spirit here today. We don't want to be ye separate. We don't want to stand on the power. Because guess what? We looking at the other nations and we feel comfort in them. We feel comfort in them and we trust in them. And like the scripture say, we trust in oppression. Matter of fact, let's go into Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17. Because when we dealing in this matter, putting on the whole armor, you cannot be dealing in a charitable matter and trying to help your nation and you standing counting on the same nation that is destroying you. Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us,
the 12 tribes of Israel,
our eyes as yet fail for own vain help.
Our eyes has failed for looking for vain help, man. Looking for, and we always say this, a zebra don't change its stripes. The same nation that been oppressing us is steady oppressing us. And we still hoping that they'll change. We still hoping that they'll make us more than 3/5 of a human being over here. But our hope has failed trusting in man. Read on.
In our watching.
In our what?
In our watching.
Because a lot of times, this is what our nation doing, man. They'll see Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. They'll see a couple, but they don't see the millions and billions that's suffering. They not understanding the ones they watching and sold they soul already. So they not understanding. They give you that token nigga. They give you that token, that token individual to try to give you that hope. But the only true hope that we do have is in the Most High God.
That's right.
So finish that out, huh?
In our watching, we have watched for a nation.
For a nation, read.
That could not save us.
And don't even want to save us, Israel. So, I'm going to show you something. Dealing with arms. When you read the title, for arms do deliver from death, Israel. As we wake up to the truth, we know it's multiple forms of death. As a nation, we are spiritually dead. And I'm going to show you something. When you're dealing with arms, you're dealing with a charitable donation. So guess what? To be able to give a charitable donation, guess what? Give me Genesis chapter 2 and verse 15. Because I'm going to share this with you. Can a slothful man give a charitable donation?
No.
Can a man that is not standing up for his nation, I'm just back up before the nation, can a man that's not standing up, taking care of his family, taking care of himself, working with his hands, providing a foundation for himself, can he give a charitable donation? No. This is what's going on. We have been a nation that's robbed and spoiled, Israel. We have been a nation that's pretty much, we depend on our enemies from everything. And I share this with you. And I'm going to show you through the scriptures, man. It was never meant to be that way. This is a curse that was put upon us. Because from the beginning, the Most High God required us to work. And I'm going to show you. Give me that, what we at Genesis chapter 2 and verse 15. Go ahead, huh?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 15. And the Lord Yahweh took the man,
read.
And put him into the Garden of Eden.
And put him in the Garden of Eden. And we know the Garden of Eden was a beautiful garden. Probably we have never seen a garden probably as beautiful as this one. Because this was made by the Most High God. But guess what? Read on.
To dress it.
To do what?
To dress it.
So when he put man in this garden, he told man, look here, you got to maintain this garden. You got to pretty much cultivate the land. So guess what? When the Most High God blessed Adam at this point, he told him, Adam, you got to put some work in. You got to handle your business. Read on.
To dress it and to keep it.
And to keep it. So it was never, even from the beginning, it was meant for us to be working. The Most High God is nothing slothful about him. He said, by him, action is weighed. He weigh our action. The spirit that we got on us is a slothful spirit. So when you're thinking about alms, you're thinking about a charitable donation, a man that is not working can't donate nothing.
God.
I'm going to show you something.
That's right.
Give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and 12 right quick.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 12. Now them that are such we command and exhort by our Lord Yahweh that with quickness they work and eat their own bread.
That they do what?
And they eat their own bread.
That we should be eating our own bread, read.
But ye brethren, be not weary in well-doing.
So check this out, man. We should be eating our own bread. We should not be getting weary in well-doing. Read on.
And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man.
Do what?
Note that man.
Because I'm going to tell you, man, we trying to build a nation, man. And we got a lot of people holding us back. But at the same time, we don't hate our brothers. We don't hate our sisters. But we got to continue to work. So the Most High God say, do what?
Note that man. And have no company with him. That he may be ashamed.
That he may be what?
That he may be ashamed.
This is our problem. We have adopted Christianity. We want to make everybody feel good. But the Most High God say, well, they not doing the will. They not doing the work. You got to note them. Make them feel ashamed. A lot of times, people have a problem with one body and how we teach. But we teach according to the scripture. We teach on the oracles of the Most High God, man. So this is the thing about it. At times, we got to show our people tough love. I'm going to show you. Right. What we had did you give me number 12? Jump up to verse 10 right quick.
Verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you.
This was commanded. Read on.
That if any would not work.
Anyone would what?
If any would not work,
read on.
Neither shall he eat. Plain
as day, Israel. If you don't work, you don't eat. And I'm going to share this with you. We're going into this understanding, and I'm trying to expound and get you to understand. We got work to do as a nation. We got work to do. I'm going to show you something right quick. Give me that in First Chronicles chapter 22, verse 15. We got work to do. So, when we're going into this about giving alms, if you're not producing, you have nothing to give. Let me see. Read that when we get there, huh?
This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 22, verse 15. Moreover, there are workmen.
They are what?
There are workmen.
Read on.
With thee in abundance. Hewers, and workers of stone and timber, and all manner of cunning men.
Cunning men, read.
For every manner of work.
For what?
For every manner of work.
Israel, we've been spoiled over here, man. But it's time to wake up. As we come back and we embrace our pretty much culture, our history, what we pretty much fell from, we got to come back. As we establish ourselves, I'm going to show you something. When you're not working, how can you build a nation? When you're not doing what was meant for us to do, how can you change pretty much a situation? How can you do the work of the Most High God? You're not even doing the basic work. You leaning on your oppression. You're trying to get out of oppression, but you counting on your oppression.
That's right.
I'm going to show you, man. Give me that. Let's go to the Sirach right quick. I'm going to show you something. Give me Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 28. You must work, Israel. Because I can't even go into arms. We can't even go into pretty much supporting the nation, and you're not even doing the basic thing. You're not even supporting yourself. You want to get out of oppression, but you can't know oppression. I'm going to show you something the Bible say about this, man. Read on. Read that right quick.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 40, verse 28. My son,
the 12 tribes of Israel, read.
Lead not a beggar's life.
So it tells us, lead not a beggar's life. Because I'm going to share something with you. If you a beggar, Israel, you can be controlled. Because if you a beggar, you are dependent on someone. And the only thing the 12 tribes of Israel should be dependent on is the all power. And his son, Yahushua, man. So he's telling us, lead not a beggar's life. Read.
For better it is to die than to beg.
Than to what?
Than to beg.
Read on.
The life of him that depended on another man's table.
The life of him that depended on another man's table. Guess what, Israel? A lot of times you look at our nation, man. How can we defeat the beast if we dependent on the beast? I tell people all the time, man, as you grow strong in this truth, we should be separating from this, from our enemy. We should be separating from the same people that is oppressing us, man. But guess what? We trying to fight them, but we eating off their table. I'm going to show you something. Read on. Yeah, read on. Start at 29 again.
The life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
So the Most High God say you're not even to be counted as a life, Israel. Now we going into this concept of giving on, but we trying to show you it's work to be done. You can't support a nation if you're not doing the basics, man. Read on.
For he polluted himself with other men's meat.
So when you polluted yourself with other man's meat, because guess what? If you didn't, and I go into the devil the Bible speaks of Esau, and you dealing with government funding, you dealing with all these things, guess what? If you have a 501c3 camp, guess what? You can be controlled by the government.
That's right.
Because it's guidelines and rules and regulations that you got to follow now. Men of the Most High God cannot partake in this foolishness, man. We cannot build a nation depending on the same nation that's oppressing us. We'll show you something. Finish it out.
But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
But a wise man that's well nurtured, the man that has awakened to this truth, we understand we got to do what we got to do to a certain extent. But if you're not working to pretty much separate yourself, you're not understanding the oracles of the Most High God. More and more, we should be working to separate ourselves from this oppression. We should be doing what? Working together. And we're going to cover that. But I'm going to show you something. When you're dealing in that matter, when you're dealing with a handout, give me that in Exodus chapter 23 and 8 right quick. Because I'm going to show you something. If you depending on your oppressor, you are being controlled, Israel. Anytime, and I remember this even in the world, anytime you have any type of government assistance, they pretty much control your every aspect of your walk or whatever you're doing. You cannot ask for help and then fight the system at the same time.
That's right.
Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt take no gift.
What does the Bible say?
And thou shalt take no gift.
So understand, man, we know every perfect gift comes from the Most High God, man. So when you dealing with taking gifts of this world, you pretty much trimming your way. You pretty much trying to pretty much get a gift that's going to put you at a better situation. Israel, we all in captivity. I say it all the time, a happy slave still a slave here, man. So in the process of trying to get our nation back together, on the process of trying to get our spirit right so we'll be ready for that great marriage when Yahweh shall return. Read that again, that's a what?
And thou shalt take no gift.
Read on.
For the gift blindeth the wise.
What does the gift do?
For the gift blindeth the wise.
But, you know, they ain't all evil, man. You know, he gave me a little 50 cents raise.
No, the gift blindeth the wise.
This is what's going on in Israel. We get a good job, a good car, a house by our slave master. We feel like, well, you know, they ain't all that bad. That gift blinded the wise, man. That gift corrupts you because now you're comfortable. Read on.
And perverted the words of the righteous.
And perverts the words of the righteous. Because all people don't understand it, man. Just like Yahweh shall, we gonna suffer, man. The earth was given into the hand of wicked. We are gonna suffer. But a lot of times, our people choose not to suffer. So they allow these things to happen. But I'm gonna show you something. Give me that in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Because as you continue your walk, Israel, you'll start paying attention to things. You'll start noticing. A lot of times, and I know y'all deal with these things, but you got to lean towards the power. Don't let nothing take you away from the all power. Because this is what Esau do. He used, just like he tempted Yahweh. He tried to tempt Yahweh with the things in this world. The same thing gonna happen to us. We just gotta apply the scriptures, man, and stand strong on the word. 6:14, 2 Corinthians. Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked.
Because guess what? When you pretty much going and taking these gifts, I'm going to share something with you. There's no way a zebra never changes stripe. Read on right quick.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
With what?
With unbelievers.
Because I'm going to tell you, man, this is what's going on. We trying to build a nation, man. And we understand we can't build with the unbelievers. We can't build with the one that's actually condemning us as a nation, as actually oppressing us as a nation, man. Read on.
For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness? What
fellowship do the children of the Most High have with the doctrines and the pretty much synagogue of Satan? Is what it's saying. Read on.
And what communion had light with darkness?
So this is what we have to understand, man. As we walk in righteousness, man, we have to take this into consideration. We have to analyze what's going on. And when you're dealing with this movement, the truth movement, it's going to be hard. But we have to come together. We have to realize it's not going to be done joining hand in hand with our enemies. And I share this with you too. It's not going to be done joining hand in hand with the sellout of our nation.
That's right.
So I'm going to show you something, Israel. Give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 18. Because I'm going to tell you, if we're dealing with the harlot, and I say the mother of all harlots, which is the daughter of Babylon, this is what's going on. I'm going to show you something right quick. 23 and verse 18. Read, matter of fact, give me 17 so we get a good, I can break it all down. Give me 17 with that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
So understand, we're speaking towards our nation. We should understand, we are royalty, man. We should not be walking in the ways of the wicked. Read on.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
No effeminate means. Read on.
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore.
Of a what?
Of a whore.
So now we dealing with money when they say a hire of a whore. No funding from anything that's abominable, man. So when you think about it, America is the daughter of all harlots. So when you try to establish something dealing with the rudiments of this world, it's not going to prosper, Israel. The Most High say, be ye separate, man. Read on.
Or the price of a dog.
Of a what?
Of a dog.
The other nations, man. The Most High God told us to be ye separate. A lot of time, Israel, we're not operating in that right spirit, man. We think Bob is cool, but I tell you what, Bob will never come in this building. Because we understand the prophets are old. We understand you can't make straight what God made crooked, man. Read on.
Or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God. For any vow.
For any vow. Read.
For even both these are abominations unto the Lord thy God.
So when you dealing in that matter, when you dealing with the 501c3, when you dealing with that matter of thinking that we gonna take down the kingdom, being supported by the same kingdom, you got a reprobate mind, Israel.
That's right.
You not understanding the power at hand. He's telling us to separate, man, in every aspect. I'm gonna show you something right quick. Give me that in 3 John, verse 4. We'll start at verse 4. I'm gonna tell you how we deal with Israel. How? Because you got to think about it. Things that were written 4 times were written before I learned. Captivity is nothing new for us. So we got to look at what's going on. 3 John, and we'll start at verse 4. Read that up.
The book of 3 John, verse 4. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth.
So this is John writing to the elders. He's addressing that this is a great joy to hear that his children is walking in this truth, man. Read on.
Beloved, thou doest faithfully whatever thou doest to the brethren.
To the who?
To the brethren.
Read on.
And and to strangers.
Now I gotta cut somebody now because they might think that's talking about the other nation. Let's go into where we at. We're gonna come back, Israel. Give me Ephesians, because understand when we talking about the strangers, we talking about the northern kingdom of Israel. We're gonna show you. Give me Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 12 right quick. We ain't drafting nobody in. We ain't drafting no other nation in. That's what Christianity taught you. But we're going to show you precept upon precept. Because it just read.
Chapter 2.
Yeah, Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 12 right quick. All right.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 2 verse 12.
We got to deal with that stranger right quick. Or somebody saying, aha. Everybody can make it. Read that right quick out.
That at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
Read it from the top again. That what?
That at that time.
So understand, at that time, read.
Ye were without Christ.
We were without the law, man. We were without Christ. Because we understand, Christ brought he brought the laws and that grace. Because remember, with the laws of Moses, if you was a homosexual, you were put to death. There was no repenting there, no question there. You were stoned to death.
That's right.
Read on.
Being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
Being aliens for the commonwealth of Israel, which is the laws, statutes, commandments, read.
And strangers.
And what?
And strangers.
There we go. That's what it's talking about. That strangers is pretty much where the northern kingdom went off. And even the ones that wasn't keeping the commandments. We were strangers. This is what we were strangers to.
From the covenants of promise.
So we were strangers from the agreement that the Most High God made with our forefathers, man. That's what we was labeled as strangers. Finish it out, having
from the covenants of promise, having no hope.
Having what?
Having no hope.
Read on.
And without Yahweh in the world.
So that is that stranger that it's talking about. It's talking about the northern kingdom. That's what it's talking about. Now let's go back to 3 John. And read verse 5 again. Now we got that understanding when it says, and to the stranger. But read verse 5 over again.
This is the book of 3 John. Verse 5. Beloved, thou doest faithfully whatsoever thou doest to the brethren.
To the brother.
And to strangers.
So pretty much the southern and northern kingdom. Read.
Which have borne witness of thy charity.
Of what?
Of thy charity.
Read on.
Before the church.
Before the church. Read the 12 tribes. Read.
Whom if thou bring forward on their journey after a godly sort, thou shalt do well.
So understand, man. Read on.
Because that for his name's sake.
For his name's sake, read.
They went forth.
They did what?
They went forth.
So understand how our forefathers did. For the name's sake of the Most High, the Son, Yahweh, they pressed forward. Read on.
Taking nothing of the Gentiles.
Read that again.
Taking nothing of the Gentiles.
So this is what we have to take into consideration, Israel. When our forefathers pressed forward, they did not take nothing of the Gentiles. A lot of times they say this in Hollywood. They signed that blood contract. That's what they call it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Understand, our forefathers didn't play them games, man. Our forefathers stood on the oracles of the Most High God. So when they dealt, what they say? Because read verse 7 again.
Because that for his name's sake, they went forth, taking nothing of the Gentiles.
See, this is what I look at it, man. When you think about our nation, man, when you think about the ones that do the 501c3, when you think about the ones that think we could team up and fellowship with the other nations and other denominations and still push this truth, they're not paying attention to the scripture.
That's right.
So I'm going to show you, man. Let's go ahead and go. Give me Matthew chapter 6 and verse 1 now. Now let's go into the mindset of what Yahweh was addressing to his people, man, about Alms. And I'm going to share this with you, Israel. It's to a lot of scriptures, it's a double fold too. But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to try to bring something out today I'm going to show you. Read that out.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your arms before men. So, Yahushua is speaking, and he's addressing. Take heed that ye do not your arms before men. I'm going to show you something, Israel. Read on. To be seen of them. Otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
Read on.
Therefore, when thou doest thine arm.
So when thou doest thine arm, read.
Do not sound a trumpet.
Don't sound a trumpet. Don't make a scene. I'm going to show you something. It's so many folks to this precept because a lot of time our people do things for vain glory. Yes. We understand that. But I'm going to show you what's even deeper with this concept. When you give it arms, which we know is a charitable donation, pretty much an aid and welfare relief, pretty much financial assistance to a nation that's being oppressed, it's a problem in there.
That's right.
I'm going to show you what's going on. Because I know a fold go into this precept of, well, people boasting and trying to shine and trying to, get glorified for hip. But I'm going to show you what Yahushua is speaking about also. Read on.
As the hypocrites.
As the what?
As the hypocrites.
Read on.
Do in the synagogue and in the streets, that they may have glory of men.
So they can have glory of men. Read on.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Read on.
For when thou doest alms.
But check this out. And this is where the Bible is a parable. Only the righteous, the ones that's precept upon precept, to get this understanding. Read it again. But with what?
But when thou doest alms.
Read on.
Let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth.
Why would Yahushua say that? I'm going to show you something. Hold where we at. Give me Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. Because in the process of restoring the nation, in the process of coming back to our nationality, coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, Yahushua also addressed this. He said, don't let the, let me go back right quick. Well, let not thy left hand know what the right hand doeth. Now, I'm going to show you something. Give me that at 10 and verse 16.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep.
As what?
As sheep.
Read on.
In the midst of wolves.
So guess what, Israel? As we wake up to this truth, it's a fold to that precept. Yahushua said, don't let the left hand know what the right hand doing. As we start building back our nation, we got to be mindful of how we do things and when we do things. I'm going to show you something. Read on.
Be ye therefore wise.
Be ye therefore what?
Be ye therefore wise.
Because I'm going to share this with you, man. We got boots on the ground. We got brothers out here teaching this word, this truth. But guess what? We know we got some awakened Israelites in higher places.
That's right.
We know at times you cannot come out and probably do what needs to be done, but you might have the money to support what needs to be done.
That's right.
So what I'm sharing with you, and we're going to go into the title of this class again, for arms do it, deliver from death. It's time to invest in the truth. It's time to understand. Crafty counsel was taken upon the 12 tribes.
That's right.
So if someone dealing with you in the crafty matter, you got to be just like Yahushua say. Be ye therefore wise as what?
As serpents.
Read on.
And harmless as doves.
This is what we have to understand, man. I read this precept probably at least once or twice a week, man. As you operate in the spirit, you got to operate wise as a serpent, man, but harmless as a dove. So as we continue this journey, and I'm going to show you something. As we continue this walk, this is what we have to understand. Ephesians 6 and 12 right quick. So, when he say, let not the, give me that Ephesians 6 and 12 right quick, I'll pull this again. Let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. This is the whole process of moving in the spirit. This is the whole process of the nation going to be rebuilt right in front of their face, man. I'm going to show you something. Because Yahushua And all the prophets understood this right here. Read that right quick out.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So we wrestle against not things that we always can see. A lot of times we think we fight against things that we can see and that we can touch. But it's deeper than that, man.
That's right.
All the other nations got hundreds of years of crafty counsel put upon us, man. The only way we're going to recover is coming back to the power. Read on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
Principalities, read.
Against powers. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Of what world?
Of this world.
Because you never was taught, Israel, this is not our world, man. We in Esau kingdom right now. Knowing this, got to increase that concept of being vigilant in this walk. Got to increase the concept of being sober, man, in every aspect. Read on.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So, knowing that the wickedness of this world is against us, Israel, we got to come together and we got to put on the whole armor. That whole armor, when you're dealing with the arms, this is what you're really doing. You invested in the power. You investing in the Most High God, man. When you give on, man. And I'm going to show you something. Even with tithing, which we know tithing is crop. I'm going to show you how this movement is done. Even back then when we was tithing, when we was giving crops and food and wine and things of that nature, I'm going to show you how this movement was done. Give me Deuteronomy, I'm going to sidewalk right quick. Give me Deuteronomy 14 and 22. I'm going to show you something, man. Because, and it's just in the process of my walk, man, I run across a lot of people that know about this movement, that speaks about this movement, but is not putting nothing towards this movement, man.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell you, no fan's going to make it to the kingdom. You cannot be a fan of this movement. You got to be about this movement, Israel. And I'm going to show you something. Read that, because I'm going to show you. Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
Of thy seed, read.
That the field bringeth forth year by year.
So we know we killing that Pastor Pochop doctrine. We know it's talking about crops and food. Read on.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there.
So in the place that the Most High, that the Spirit guides you, that the Most High God should guide you to that place that he shall choose. Read.
The tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
Always. Read on. Matter of fact, jump down. I'm going to get to the point. Jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25.
Hold on, no, I need 24. Give me 24. I ain't going to cheat it. Read on.
Okay, verse 24. And if the way be too long...
So understand, in the process, Israel, is going into, if the way be too far, because I know sometimes brothers say, man, you know, well, it's not a campworm, man, and so forth, or whatnot, man, so I really just kind of, you know, just sitting here watching y'all. If that way be too far, I'm going to show you what the Bible say. Read on.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God had blessed thee, then shall thou turn it into money. So this is where the 10%, this is where pretty much tithing, you turn it into money. Because I share this all the time with people, man. I never, and I love all my family, man. I love all my brews and everyone that's dwelling in this doctrine. But I can never recommend no one to go to a camp that I don't know about. That's right. So, you know, my spirit won't never let me guide someone to a camp that I don't know about. So when I speak to brothers, I tell them in the nature, man, you got to pretty much make sure whoever you dealing with is walking in righteousness, is walking in the spirit of the Most High God. So read on. and bind up the money in
bind
thy
up,
hand.
bind up the money in thy hand. Read.
And shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
Shall what?
Shall choose.
So when you're dealing in this movement, Israel, when you're dealing with alms being pretty much a charitable donation, I always tell brothers, let the Spirit guide you, man. Because my thing like this, the Most High God is going to take care of his chosen seed. He's going to take care of the one that's abiding in his will. So when I tell brothers, hey, brother, you got to be more involved. You got to let the Spirit guide you, which the Spirit of truth, to give your arms to. Because a lot of times, well, I just give my arms to whoever. You got to let the Spirit guide you. That's what the scriptures say.
That's right.
What the Most High God chose. So I just want to show you back, even with tithing, it's all about being guided by the Spirit, man. Christianity don't teach this because guess what? We feed in the beast. We feed in the synagogue of Satan.
That's right.
Because we feel like, well, I just paid my time. Some brothers, I just gave on. Well, do you know them brothers? If the brothers doing the work, well, hey, man, I ain't worried about that. I did my part. You did your part on not examining, and I always say prove a friend. That's what it say, right?
That's what it say. So
this what's going on, Israel. By us running with our own philosophy, we have increased our captivity. Now understand it, man. You got to be guided by the Spirit, man. You got to be guided to pretty much do the will of the Most High, man. I'm going to show you something. So we finished that out. Now let's go back to where we was at. I'm going to show you. Give me Malachi 2 and 10 right quick. Because knowing this not our resting place, knowing that when you pretty much giving alms, Israel, and I keep got to bring that to mind because once we learn tithes of food, we don't do nothing towards this movement. We get a lot of time people address and say, hey, man, won't y'all come here? Won't y'all come to Chicago? Won't y'all come to California? We can't move off of water. We can't move off of air, Israel. It takes a nation. It takes pretty much what the Most High God told us to do. We got to give on towards this truth. So I'm going to show you something right quick. Read that in Micah chapter 2 and verse 10.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye.
Do what?
Arise ye.
Read on.
And depart.
And do what?
And depart.
Because as you continue to walk Israel, you should be departing slowly but surely, day in and day out from this wicked world, man. Read on.
For this is not your rest.
Uh-huh.
Because it is polluted.
It is what?
It is polluted.
Read on.
It shall destroy you.
It shall do what?
It shall destroy you.
So when you give it alms, Israel, you're not giving alms. You're not doing the Christianity concept of this world. You giving alms towards, guess what? The power. You giving alms towards the brotherhood or whoever doing the will of the Most High God, man.
That's right.
Of your brethren. This is how you got to examine. I'm gonna tell you like this: that all praise that I'm part of a body. But if I was not, and I had to, and I'm gonna guess what? I'm gonna put on the whole armor. I'm gonna give on. I gotta be led by the Spirit, and I cannot give on to a group of people that's not led by that same Spirit, which is the Most High, the Son, Yahweh. Read on.
It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction.
So that sword destruction, man. So when you give it on and you examine the Spirit, you give it on, you pretty much investing in the power. So I'm going to show you something. Give me Zephaniah 2 and 1 right quick. In the process of investing in the power, this is why this precept is so important. You can't do it by yourself. Because guess what? $100 for me is not going to help too many people. But guess what? But if I get $100 for 100 brothers, now we got something going, man.
That's right.
I'm going to show you. Read that right quick, guys.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Gather yourselves together.
Uh-huh.
Yea.
Uh-huh.
Gather together. O nation not desired.
So in the process of gathering, you got to gather and be putting on the whole armor of the Most High God. You got to do every aspect of what is written. You can't gather together and, okay, well, I could teach, but I ain't going to give on. You got another person, well, I give on, but I'm not going to work. When they say gather together, yea, gather together, O nation, I desire. You got to gather together in righteousness. That's you got to gather together in the oracles of the Most High God, man. That's right. If you don't, you just like the Million Man March. A bunch of confused individuals. That's right. You finished that one? Finished that one. So I'm going to show you something. Because when you gathering together, going back to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10, you got to be in the same mindset. What that mindset got to be on, give me Colossians chapter 3 and 1 right quick. Because everybody, every one of you that's gathering together, your mindset got to be, and I'm going to let the scripture bring it out. This is what your mindset got to be. We can't be all together. I'm thinking about this, you thinking about that. I'm going to show you what the Bible says. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 1. If ye then be risen with Yahushua.
Is you risen with Yahushua? That means you walking as he walked. Read on.
Seek those things.
Do what?
Seek those things.
Read on.
Which are above.
So when you walking together, when we supposed to be gathering together, you got to be seeking of things which are above. Read.
Where Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh.
Read on.
Set your affection.
Set your what?
Set your affection.
You got to put your mind, everything that you thinking of got to be set on. Read on.
On things above.
Read on.
Not on things on the earth.
So this is what's going on, man. You got to set your pretty much affection on the kingdom to come. You got to set your affection on making it to the kingdom. You got to set your affection on helping your brother, your nation, your people get to the kingdom. If all of y'all is not on that same mindset, I'm going to show you what's going on. If you give me James 1 and 8 right quick. If we're not all speaking the same thing, walking in the same mindset of Yahushua, which was the perfect example, this is what you are. This is what the Million Man March was. This was the Black Panthers. This was all the things that has failed was dealing with. Read that right quick, huh?
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man.
A double-minded man. A man that's very unstable. A man that's having turned his feet to the testimony. A man that don't have no understanding, and I speak towards my nation, of the precepts and what he should be doing and what we need to do as a nation to get out of this condition. Read.
Is unstable in all his ways.
Read on.
Let the brother of low degree,
someone that's humble, man, read.
Rejoice.
Read on.
In that he is exalted.
Someone that's going to be humble towards the will of the Most High God. What the scripture say? I must decrease so he can increase, man. A lot of times our people don't want to do that, Israel. So I'm going to show you something. Let's move forward here, man. Dealing with riches, dealing with the focus point of things of this world. Yahushua spoke about this. Give me Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. So, as us trying to exalt a nation with righteousness, Alms is part of that righteousness. Read that right quick,
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth.
So, as we come into this understanding, we realize now, man, we're not trying to lay treasure upon this earth no more. We've been taught, get rich or die trying. We've been taught, get it how you live. But read that again.
Lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth.
Read on.
Where moth and rust do corrupt.
Because all this stuff is going to perish, man. None of this stuff is going to last forever. Read on.
And where thieves break through and steal.
So anything that you accomplish on this kingdom, in this world, man, it can be taken away from you. You should realize that from just our captivity. The sense of freedom is imagination. You never own anything here. Read on.
But lay upon yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
So this is what we have to understand, man. Setting that mindset of things above, man. Read on.
For where your treasure is there.
Hold up. Read that real up. For where your treasure is, Israel. Read on.
There will your heart be also.
There will your mind be also, man. This is the big concept with Israel, man. What you invest in, that's where your heart is, which is your mind. A lot of times people invest in their children more than the Most High.
That's right.
Sometimes people invest in their career more than the Most High. So this what's going on, man. As we continue this walk, I'm going to show you something. It's time to invest in the power. Because when you're doing this, I'm going to show you. Give me Tobit. Let's go into the Apocrypha, the book of Tobit. Chapter 12, we'll start at verse 17. We got to invest in things that's going to get us out this captivity. We got to invest in the kingdom to come, Israel. Read that when you get there. Tobit chapter 12 and verse 7.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 7. It is good to keep close the secret of a king.
So understand, man, the secret of the king. We know who the king of Israel, Yahushua, man. Read.
But it is honorable to reveal the works of Yahweh. Do that which is good.
Do what?
Do that which is good.
Read on.
And no evil shall touch you.
Read on.
Prayer is good.
Prayer is good. Read.
With fasting and alms.
And what?
And alms.
Investing in the power, Israel. Invest in the power. Read.
And righteousness. A little with righteousness.
A little with righteousness. Read.
Is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms.
It is better to what?
It is better to give alms.
Read on.
Than to lay up gold.
This is what our people have not been taught, man. We have adopted the custom of the heathen nation, man. We have dealt with a nation. We have pretty much trusted in a nation that don't have a key, don't have the key to salvation.
That's right.
Don't have the key to the kingdom. This is crafty counsel, man. Read on.
For alms do deliver from death.
And how is that possible, man? Because when you invest in the power, and I'm going to show you something. What we just talked about with the tithing thing, we got to follow the spirit of the power. So read that again.
For alms do deliver from death.
Read on.
And shall purge away all sin.
And shall do what?
And purge away all sin.
All right.
Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life.
Shall be filled with what?
Shall be filled with life.
Because I'm going to share this with you. When you invest in the power, man, that is a righteous thing. So when you investing in the power, you investing in the service of the Most High God. That's actually what? Doing His will. This is what Christianity has not taught us. Because I'm going to show you. When you investing in alms, you investing in the power. You investing in the power, you dealing with the righteous service of the Most High God. That's so right. When you working in that operation, give me Sirach chapter 12 and verse 1 right quick. This was really going on. The precept just rose together. Because when you working in this spirit and you dealing and giving alms, this is what you're doing. And this is what you're not doing. Read that right quick out.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest.
Read on.
So shall thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man.
So when you operate in the spirit, you know, giving alms and investing in the power, you should do what?
Do good to the godly man.
I don't see our brother be giving alms to a wicked spirit. This is what our people to fail to understand. They get caught up on giving alms, but you feeding a wicked camp. You feeding a wicked brother.
That's right.
So the Bible tells us in the process of being obedient, you should read that again.
Yeah, read that again. Do good to the godly man.
Read on.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
Read on.
And if not from him, yet from the Most High.
And that's what we were hoping for. That's what we waiting on, man. Read on.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
Because if you're not dealing in the oracles of the Most High God, you're occupied in what?
In evil.
Read on.
Nor to him that giveth no alms.
Nor to them that give no what?
No alms.
Because we just read the scripture say, where a man treasure is where his heart at. If he's not giving no alms, he's not understanding this movement. And guess what? He's not a part of the movement. He's going into that James 1 and 8. He's double-minded. He thinks about getting some real.
That's right.
Read on.
Give to the godly man.
Read on.
And help not a sinner.
So as you in the process of this walk, this goes into the class topic. For alms do deliver from death. Because when you're dealing in the righteous matter and when you feeding into the truth, guess what you're doing? You're going into, matter of fact, sidebar, give me a Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Because when you're dealing in righteousness and you're doing the will of the Most High God, this is what's going on. Read that when you get there. Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Probably 10, I probably won't, but we'll do 9 as well. Because this is what's going on, man. Alms do delivered from death, man. When you invest in this truth and you dealing with righteous people, man, this is what's going to preserve you, Israel. This is what's going to preserve our nation as we grow stronger in the word and as we wake up that 1/3, man. Read that right quick out.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9. 2 are better than 1.
Read on.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
That goes into the topic of that give it on, deliver from death, man. And we're speaking about spiritually dead, man. Read on.
For if they fall,
for if they what?
For if they fall,
read.
The one will lift up his fellow.
This is what we hoping for. This is what we have to do as a nation, man. Read on.
But woe to him that is alone when he falleth. For he had not another to help him up.
So that's what's going on. That's all I want on that. I was just expressing the concept of how we got to walk, man, and what we should be doing. Now I'm going to show you as we operate with giving. I'm going to show you. Give me that in Tobit chapter 4 and verse 14 right quick. It's time to stop feeding the beast, man. It's time to operate in the right spirit, man, in every aspect, man. Israel, you done woke up and you don't give tithes because you know tithes not money, but you don't give alms either.
That's right.
It's time to wake up, man. One body in your house shot. We want to be everywhere, but guess what? We can't. Because we understand we in captivity and we work just like y'all, man. But guess what? We going to make our life a living sacrifice to get this word out, man. Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 14. Let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee.
Understand, man, as we deal, this is how we should be operating with our people, man. If we working in a righteous manner, man, and this going into working it within the unit, you should not hold back any wages from your brother. If your brother helping you out and it was agreed a way should be dealt, you should deal in that righteous manner. Because if you don't, you're no different than Esau.
That's right.
Read on.
But give him it out of hand.
Read on.
For if thou serve God.
But if thou what?
But if thou serve God.
Read.
He will also repay thee.
Understand, man. This is that operating that righteous spirit, man. Read on.
Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversations.
So this is how we should be working, man. See, America has taught us the greedy syndrome.
That's right.
I can do it all by myself. Get back. I can do it. Give me that. Give me this.
That's right.
But if you dealing in the righteous manner, man, your brother need work too. You help that brother get work, man. You deal with that brother in the righteous manner. And you don't try to undercut your brother.
That's right.
Read on.
Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken.
Yeah, don't drink wine. Wine also go into lies and games. Read.
Neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey.
Don't be deceiving this towards your people, man. Read on.
Give of thy bread to the hungry.
Read on.
And of thy garments
and
to them that are naked.
That are naked, man. That are in need. Read.
And according to thine abundance.
This word gets to a deeper understanding. According to what?
And according to thine abundance.
That means according to what you have, man. Everybody have different levels. So according to thy abundance, read.
Give alms.
Do what?
Give alms.
So understand, your abundance might be different than your next brother's abundance, but you might have double what he have. These are things we should not be worried about, man, when we operate in that right spirit. Read on.
And let not thine eye be envious.
Don't be envious towards this walk, man. Don't be envious towards investing in the Most High God, man. A lot of times our people caught up in the flesh so much because they haven't walked in, they haven't developed themselves to be more spiritual, man.
That's right.
Don't be envious, because if he only gave 10, that's probably the only last 10 he had. Well, you got 20 tens in your pocket. You gonna only give 10 because he gave 10. Read that part again. Let not what?
And let not thy eyes be envious.
Don't be jealous, man. Do what the Most High God called you to do. Read.
When thou givest alms.
So this is how we should be operating, man. Based on your abundance. I'm going to show you, man. Give me 2 Corinthians now, chapter 8 and verse 12. Paul spoke about this, man. See, America has taught us this greedy syndrome, pretty much trying to up your brother. But as a nation, man, we didn't operate like that when we were operating in righteousness. And I'm going to show you, man, through the scripture. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 12. Start there for me.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12. For if there be first a willing mind.
Understand, man, as we operate in the spirit, we must have a willing mind, man, towards righteousness, man, in every aspect. Read.
It is accepted according to that a man hath.
So it is accepted according to that what a man have. Read.
And not according to that he had not.
Because as a nation, man, we operate in one unit, man. One body but many members. Read on.
For I mean not that other man be eased and ye burdened.
So understand, we got to operate and carry each other's burdens, man. This is what we should be doing. It shouldn't be no concept of my brother struggling and I don't lend him a hand. Read on.
But by an equality.
By an what?
But by an equality.
Read on.
That now at this time your abundance.
Your what?
Your abundance.
Read.
May be a supply for their want.
So this is what walking in the spirit is about, Israel. Your abundance, man. If you have more and your brother is struggling, you're supposed to help your brother. But hold up, remember, we're supposed to help the brother that's what? Walking in these commandments.
That's
the
right.
brother that's abiding in the will of the Most High God.
That's right.
Read on.
That their abundance also be their abundance. Also may be a supply for your want. That there may be equality.
There may be equality, man. This is something that as a nation we have not experienced since we've been in these captivity. Read on.
As it is written. He that had gathered much.
He that has gathered much, read.
Had nothing over.
He didn't have nothing over. In America, they teach you to what? Eat greedy. But the Most High God say, as our nation, man, as us dealing in righteousness, we don't operate in that spirit, man. Read on.
And he that had gathered little had no lack.
And the ones that gather little, man, didn't lack for nothing, man. Because this is why, man. I'm going to show you last precept, Israel. Give me St. John chapter 15 and verse 13. The spirit that Yahushua, which was a perfect example, left for us, man. A lot of times we gotta realize, man, this is going through the fire. This is that going into that being reborn, man. We gotta change our thoughts and our ways from what we've been taught in this wicked kingdom, man. Read that right quick, God.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 13.
Because this is what Yahushua understood and he put on the line for the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
Greater love had no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends.
And on that note, Israel, we're going to say shalom. Shalom.